The Street Corner Soapbox. The Street Corner Soapbox with Falso and Willin. Podcast takeover. We're making a killing. Music to nightlife. Debauchery and street news. Serving it hot. We are some street news, movies and mayhem. The craziest guests, words from chaos. Get it off our chest, Rhode Island, worldwide, dark corners in all places. Speak how we live, radio show, smoking aces. Ladies and gents, for the people we're talking. Take the show on the road, right where you're walking. Yeah.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Street Corner Soapbox Podcast coming to you live.
Follow us on Instagram at street_corner_soapbox.
Don't forget, guys, check us out. Like us on Facebook at Street Corner Soapbox.
And subscribe and follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, Stitcher,
and all digital platforms. Don't forget, all of our episodes are going to be on streetcornersoapbox.com. Love you all. That's right, Street Corner Soapbox. This episode is powered by Pod Decks.
Pod Decks are unique interview questions and episode starting prompts in the palm of your hand. So whether you are a new podcaster or existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience or get more engagement, you're going to want to check out poddecks.com. Use code SCSB for 10% off your first order.
That's right. Pod Decks are the hottest new tool for podcasters looking to have more meaningful conversations or gamify their podcast. Simply shuffle up, ask a question, and let the content roll. Get yours today at poddecks.com. That's PODDECKS.com. And use code SCSB for 10% off your first order.
And make sure you check out streetcornersoapbox.com for more updates.
That's right, boys and girls. Street Corner Soapbox. We are back. I'm here with my brother, Lord Willin.
Yo, what's cracking?
Hey, shit, baby. We got a little vagabond Robs here sitting in on this.
We got a special co-host today.
Just sitting in a little bit.
Motherfucking vagabond, motherfucking gypsy.
Right before I get out of New England.
Julian Edelman fucking impersonator.
Well, we got a special guest today.
We got, the one and only, the lovely, the vicious Shotzie Doran, the Predator. How you doing?
Shotzie, thanks for coming in.
Hey, thanks for having me.
No problem. It's good to have you on. So why don't you, tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from, where you're at, and then how you got into fighting, martial arts, MMA.
Oh, wow. That's like super long story.
That's okay. We got plenty of time.
I mean, what do you want to know first?
Why don't you give us
your background? How'd you get into martial arts?
Well, give us your background, like where you're from and everything, the general stuff, and then if you want to get into how you started training and all that.
Okay. I'm a country girl. Grew up on a farm. Lots of brothers and sisters. I guess basically that's about where I come from. I was born in Colorado, but I grew up in New York for the most part.
Rochester area.
Not Rochester area, 315 area. Out there. I went to school in Lyons. That's actually where I graduated from.
So upstate?
Upstate New York area. Super country on a farm. Horses, rabbits, chickens, sheep.
Nice. We love the country.
You said you had a big family?
Yeah.
How many siblings you got?
There are 7 of us on my mom's side, and then I have 4, 3 brothers, 1 sister on my dad's side.
Super big family.
Wow.
Yeah, super big family.
What's that, 12 kids?
That's what they do in the country.
Well, no cable.
Yeah, I guess so. A lot of time on their hands.
So that's how you started fighting, because you had so many siblings?
Yeah, you were fighting since day one.
No, but we used to kick the crap out of each other when we were kids. I was a rough kid. I was definitely a rough kid. But I definitely didn't. Actually, my mom was really against fighting. Wow. I mean, she was kind of half and half, you know what I mean? My mom was like a really good mom. We grew up on a farm and chores and all that, family, country values. But my mom, she was always like really bent on no fighting. Like when I started fighting, she really hated it. Like we didn't really have good conversation about it. She wouldn't talk to me.
Slowly adapting.
Typical mom, though. I don't think most moms probably aren't too keen on their kids trying to become professional fighters.
No, my mom wouldn't have been.
Dads, maybe different story, but moms, not so much.
I just think that it's, I think people have just a like a stereotype of the sport itself. You know what I mean? Some people don't really understand that. I think so. Especially back then. You know what I mean? To my mom, it was just two people getting in a cage and punching the crap out of each other. She didn't understand the discipline or the things that it actually takes to get in the cage in the first place, because all the work actually happens before that.
Sure. So how did you, so tell us about your beginnings of getting into MMA and fighting in general.
Well, fighting in general. So, long story short about that one, I was with somebody for 13 years, and he had 3 girls and I had 1 son, and we, raised our kids together. And 3 years ago, this last April, my daughter passed away in a car accident, my oldest stepdaughter.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, me too. So I guess I was doing some like fitness before that and really getting healthy. And, before that I'd come from some really not so good stuff, a lot of domestic abuse in one level or another, and just a rough way of life, drugs, alcohol, whatnot. So I had gotten clean, and I was, building a life, and I was starting to do some fitness, and then just passed away, and I don't know, things kind of spiraled. And about a year after that, my friend Matt, who recently passed away in a bike accident, actually, he came to me and he was like, "Hey, you need to get the hell out of your house. So get up, get freaking dressed, and we're going." And he brought me to my first coach that I worked with ever. And I took a fight 2 months after that. After I started training, I stepped into a ring, and then it was just kind of a wrap after that. Fighting really saved my life, because when Matt came around, I was contemplating, really just not being there no more.
Yeah.
And so he basically, he was like, enough's enough, and brought me there, and I lost my first fight 45 seconds in, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing in there.
Is that normal for them to throw somebody in 2 months?
I mean,
like that?
It depends, I guess, where you train out of, in my opinion.
Right.
I think that, I think that each coach is different. I'm with the team that I'm with now is completely different. But I was pretty hell bent on getting in the ring. I'd only been training for, 2 months, and I took that fight and I lost. I got kicked in the liver 3 times.
Oof.
And I didn't know how to block it. Yeah, those ones sting just a little.
So you had not to cut you off, but so you didn't have, like, you weren't training before that, like any traditional stuff or anything like that?
Just fitness training?
Yep, just fitness training. I was getting older. I was, I'm actually 41, believe it or not.
Oh, shit.
So I started when I was 38.
Okay, so you got into the game late, yeah.
Yeah, but before that, I wanted to, I was getting older. I was feeling those effects, and I didn't like it. So I got into the gym, and I went and was working with like a private trainer, and I was pretty bored with what we were doing. So I asked him, hey, can we do something else? And we started throwing some punches, and I found I enjoyed it. And I had sponsored the fighter Matt, who's Matt Nordstrom. So I sponsored him as one of his sponsors for his fights, and then Tiff died, and then everything kind of fell into place the way it did later. And that's how everything really started.
All right. Well, it's never too late to get in.
Do you have any inspirations? People that inspire you?
Like other fighters?
Yeah.
I think, I mean, there's a ton of them. I mean, there's just a ton of them. I love that. I like Joanna. I think she's a big one. And Valentina. Those are real big ones in my book as far as toughness goes, and their style, and just that relentless urge to get up and continue on. That relentless urge to push forward. I think that both of those have it. Joanna has incredible takedown defense. You know, she just never leaves her feet, and I love that. And you know, Valentina's kind of scary. They both would kick my ass, but I would totally do it with them in the cage. I would totally do it just to say I did. But you know what I mean? I like the real down to earth ones. I can't remember her last name, but Ashley, I follow her, and that girl Jessie Rose. I follow those girls. They're young. On my feeds and stuff like that, and see that they're really down to earth people. And there's a bunch of them, you know, the female fighters out there that try to make a difference and do a lot of good things and are humble. I'm really attracted to the humble people in this game, and there's just a ton of them in this sport.
No doubt. Would you like to step in the ring with Cyborg?
Yeah, sure.
That's one tough chick right there, dude.
Yeah, she's super tough. Did you just watch her fight with the Aussie girl?
I've seen one of her. I don't know if it was that one. I know I've seen. Was that her last fight?
Yeah, that was her last fight.
I'm not sure. I know a couple months. When's the I don't remember the last time she fought, but I know I've seen one of her last few fights, and she definitely.
Oh.
You remember the girls that we watched last night?
I don't. One of them was a Brazilian, like really short Brazilian chick. And the other one was a tall. Yeah, I don't remember their names though. So you have. So what's your? How many fights do you have now?
I have 5 right now.
5 fights in all MMA.
No, kickboxing. I just won 2 titles in kickboxing. In February.
Okay, so you have 5 total amateur fights, kickboxing and MMA combined. Yeah,
MMA, I actually make my debut. I was supposed to make it months ago, actually, this past March. So I move into MMA for this next fight, and then hopefully sign pro with these people that I've been talking to.
Okay, so all your fights thus far have been kickboxing?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
You got just pushed back because of COVID?
Yeah. So I would already. I took 5. I would have already taken 5 fights this year.
Oh, no kidding.
So I'd be on like my 5th fight by now.
Cool. So
that was the goal this year, was to take 5 a year. Yeah, because I don't really have a long time left to fight, and I really love it.
Yeah, so you're trying to get in as many as possible.
I'd like to go pro. I mean, I have a offer to go pro, so I just need a few more fights before I can take that, and then I'd like to be able to do that. You know what I mean? Who knows? One day when I can't move anymore, I can look back and be like, yeah, that was me, pro fighter.
Yeah, why not? I mean, that's cool.
Plus, you can, you know what I mean? Like, there's so much negativity that goes around. It's nice to be a part of that positive side of things. You know, just. You know, there's a lot of role models that are not really that good role models. So I feel like dating offers you that avenue, and, you know, that it doesn't really matter where you come from or what you've been through, that you can literally do anything you want. You've got to put your mind to it and do it.
Yeah, you can help girls that came from similar background to yourself, like coming from domestic violence and problems and stuff like that, substance abuse and alcohol addiction. You know, try to give them a path to take like yourself and hold some discipline.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, or that even if this isn't like, you know, something that they want to do, that just that you don't, you know what I mean, just don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't give up, get up. You know what I mean? That, you know, no one ever said it was going to be easy, but it's so worth it. Oh, yeah. You just got to get up. It might take it a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with the things that people go through, those down moments where they can't get off the floor. Or plenty of times I've spent on my knees and I couldn't get up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but you just go ahead.
No, so I was just gonna say, with COVID, it's kind of hard to pick a path, so a timeline anyway, really, right? Because no one really knows what's going on. And you're hurt, and you said you were injured right now, so you can't even train, right?
Yeah. So they're not sure if they're pretty sure I tore my bicep, but nobody's really sure until I get an MRI. Monday it'll be like 4 weeks. So, I mean,
you tore it in a fight or
probably just training.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just plow through everything, so I don't know when I heard it.
So what gym are you training out of right now?
I fight for Victor MMA. So it's Victor Kettlebell and MMA. It's in Victor, New York, with Coach Greg Davis and Coach Kerry Davis and Coach Brian Brown, and Coach Raphael and Coach Jake. But really, my coach is Coach Greg.
Okay.
Kerry.
And what's that gym really known for? Would you say?
MMA. It's an MMA gym.
Okay, so not like one, maybe like Muay Thai or Jiu Jitsu or anything. It's just.
I mean, so it's jiu-jitsu. We definitely practice traditional jiu-jitsu, but everything is really geared towards MMA. So you have a lot of freestylists. The striking coach in there, he's Muay Thai, and we have a wrestling coach who's like a champion wrestler, and then my coach who's he's diverse, so he's all everything. He's traditional jiu-jitsu.
So how would you describe your fighting style as of right now?
I mean, I don't know. I'm a bully.
So you like to get in there? You just like to get in there and throw down?
I like to be up close. That's my thing. Like I like to be in your face. I don't know. At least this has been actually. It's funny that we're talking about this. This has been a conversation in the last couple of days at class because everybody says I'm a bully when I fight, but I'm like the nicest person ever. Like I would.
Well, that's a lot of fighters though. Yeah, that's a lot of martial arts because if you train, you know that you can turn that killer instinct on if you need to. So I find that most people I've trained with are usually super nice people. You know what I'm saying? And then when they step in the ring, man, when they step in the gym, whatever, if you turn that switch, then it's a different story. But there's no reason if you know you can handle yourself. There's no reason to walk around like a tough guy.
I'm not a fighter, but martial arts is supposed to be
make you a dick.
Yeah, I mean, originally definitely, but also MMA there's a lot of meathead. There's been a lot of meatheads too. That
there's not. I mean, I would say that there's more good people than meatheads.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. But I think what happened was when MMA first really took off, there was a lot of people that thought like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to train for a little bit. Now I'm a fucking tough guy and I'm going to go out on the street and fucking,
but that doesn't make you a tough guy. That just makes you a dick.
Exactly. No, I agree. And I've dealt with that, and you probably dealt with that too, Rob. And unfortunately, I mean, I don't see that so much anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I know where I train, like, if you go in there and you act like a tough guy, you're going to learn real fast. Like, you're going to get checked real quick.
Until a tough guy shows up.
Exactly. You're going to get checked real quick. By some nice guys, you're going to get checked real quick. So
yeah, and that's the thing is, like, they're probably, like, the nicest people in the world, and then they're really, like, the most dangerous people that you could ever meet.
Exactly. Yeah. So would you prefer striking or grappling?
Honestly, I like it all. I really like MMA I feel like I'm a much better suited fighter for MMA than kickboxing.
Yep.
But kickboxing is a great platform for me to just kind of work through how it felt getting in the cage, and cause you can train how you want, but getting in the cage and taking that walk to that platform and getting locked in the cage, that's a whole different ballgame. So it was a great platform for me. Yeah,
and if your style is in your face, straight fighting, then kickboxing is obviously a good art for you to train.
Yeah, I'm definitely in your face. Apparently, I'm a big bully.
How'd you get the nickname the Predator?
Because I'm a bully.
Okay.
I'm literally a. I guess I'm a bully. I don't really know because I do. I know. That aggression, I don't know. I'm a pretty aggressive person. I'm not like I don't know how do you say that without coming across like a jerk? Like I'm aggressive.
Well, you're aggressive in everything you do. You're just trying to be the best at anything you do.
I'm very dominant in a lot of the things that I do. Yeah. So but I also put in the time. Like I'm there all the time. Like I never miss class. I would have probably powered right through this injury if my coach and my manager were not like, hey, but I have like when you walk in my house, I have like mats. I have like a whole little just gym in my front room. It's like a room you walk into with a bunch of stuff for fighting and training and stuff like that. So I train in the morning, before I work, and then I put in that time, But I guess I just go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, sorry.
I guess I just flip the script. My coach says I have a way of making it nasty Because I wage war. People get in the cage to fight, and I apparently get in the cage to wage war.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people that fight. They're counter fighters, defensive fighters. Some people don't want to take as much damage. You got like Floyd Mayweather, that type of style.
Dance around
It depends. I mean, I've been told that it's smarter overall, and you're gonna have more longevity if you fight like that. You know what I'm saying? But what the people want to see is that action, is that fucking.
Well, they're gonna sound like they're gonna see it fighting the predator.
Yeah.
I did not pick that name. I mean, you guys, I mean, I guess. I mean, I think that it's really important to be a well-rounded fighter.
Sure.
I think it's really important to know your strengths, but it's even more important to know your weaknesses. It's like when you lose a fight, I feel like those losses are where you grow the most. Like, winning's winning, and it's great. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's the name of the game. Everybody wants to win.
But you learn more of your faults.
Yes, I've grown the most from my losses, and I've had a couple. You know what I mean? I had my first fight. I had my second fight, which I lost by 1 point. So I mean, and it was a split decision. So I mean, we've all had our moments, but I think you grow the most when you fall. Because you're forced to get back up and face those things that are weak. If you don't know it's broke, how do you fix it?
Yep.
True.
You
said that you missed 5. You had 5 fights planned up until COVID. Well, you mentioned one more you have in the future. Do you have any future plans coming up?
Well, no. I mean, there was opportunities for those fights.
Okay.
Could have been on any one of those cards, but COVID, one card gets canceled, and then we try to get on the next, and then that card's canceled, and then you try to get on the next. So as soon as New York State opens, I mean, I don't know, because my manager is really talking about right now going out of state and fighting. Because New York State's the only one that's, kind of crappy governor.
No, mine, Mass too.
Were these all Cage Wars fights?
No, I've only fought Cage Wars card once, but I would love to go back there and fight again.
Yeah, shout out to Cage Wars, Ben Fields.
Yes, Slim, Tim, he's the promoter of Cage Wars. They are probably between Cage Wars and Ground Force. They're one of the they just take really great care of their fighters.
I went
contact emotions as well.
I went to a Cage Wars. I went to a Cage Wars event in Albany some years back. One of my brothers, tragedy, he fought, and there was a ton of fights. Though I remember it was like,
and their show is
like 20 fights.
I mean, it's fantastic. It's extremely professional. Everything's done.
They run?
Huh?
They run one ring.
Yeah, there was just a cage, and when I went, and
that's a lot of fights.
Dude, it was a lot.
And they were fighting out of the casino, which really hurt them even worse.
This wasn't at a casino. This was at like a armory.
Now I'm saying,
yeah, Schenectady. They're fighting out of the Rivers Casino.
Yeah, and it just that added
That's
the
where I
whole
thought
COVID thing.
September was there.
That's where Mickey Rourke's from. For anyone that doesn't know, yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah, that's Schenectady's claim to fame. Mickey Rourke.
I ran out of gas in Schenectady.
It's a nice place. I got homies out there. Albany, shout out to Albany, Troy. You know what I'm saying? Buffalo, Rochester. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So there's a couple of local promotions around here that are pretty good. So there's Ground Force, which is a great promotion also, and that's out here. They're typically, Batavia area. You got Rochester with a full contact promotion. Those guys are all really great people too, along right with Cage Wars. So I would say the consistency of how well they treat their fighters is about the same.
How long do you got left on your recovery before you can start training again, or to your coaches and manager clear you?
I mean, are you asking me what I would like to do, or are you asking me exactly?
If it was up to you,
you wouldn't have
if it was up to the Predator, the Predator would be fighting right now.
I probably would be. But you know what I mean? I don't want to make it worse and have something happen there or something. I don't even know what's happening. So next Sunday we go for an MRI and we'll see what they say, And
then you get away from the governors to open.
Well, honestly, yeah. With that, do you really think he's going to pull his head out of his behind and do that, though? Probably not.
Well, it's tough right now because even in Mass, in Rhode Island, I mean, there's no fights right now. You know what I'm saying?
There are fights There are fights everywhere, brother.
Really?
They've canceled. I know there's a couple coming up, but they canceled a bunch too. Like they did one in Connecticut,
And then
but you're talking about no spectators. You're talking about no spectator fights. So the no spectator fights, there are fights like that. They're in PA. They're in Florida. They're everywhere but here.
Yeah, all the Republican states.
But I wonder how they're making money with no spectators. Because Pete, when
sponsorship,
sponsorships, bro, there's no money. Like when Slippery Pete was on, who just fought UFC, he was saying that these smaller promotions, how can they afford to put on a fight when there's no ticket sales?
Yeah,
because it's not.
Some of them are just breaking even, though. You know what I mean?
Well,
they're just doing it for the.
Well, a lot of them are breaking even before that. Even before COVID. I mean, there's not a lot of money in MMA at that level.
I mean, I don't know. I sell a lot of tickets. So
if you sell tickets, that's the way to make money. So if there's no fans, no spectators, there's no ticket sales.
But you got other promotions that also have big sponsors too that pay for a hefty part of their stuff. But you're right; it's really expensive to put on a show.
Yeah, it's just like music or
without spectators, which is probably the reason why a lot of promoters can't do it or whatever right now. It definitely puts a big halt on it with this COVID stuff. But quite frankly, I hope that they do continue doing them with no spectators until we can do it, because something is better than nothing. And I really, honestly, I love my fans. I love my fans. I try to pick up, a personal, a personal touch to each and every one of them, because, without them, I really wouldn't be where I'm at, as far as that spectrum goes. So, I'm really good with them, but I'm okay with fighting with no spectators too.
Well, and they can still give you the love online. You can still see.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of these ones are doing like pay-per-view events or whatever.
Yeah, streaming the fights. Yeah, actually, it's funny.
Huh?
No, I was just going to say it's funny because Pete was saying when he was on, he actually doesn't mind that the fact that there's no people in the stands. He said it didn't bother him at all.
Yeah, because I brought up, I thought that was like, I wouldn't be able to fight no energy, people screaming for you.
Are you kidding me? Yeah. I freaking love the idea. I would totally do it with no people in the stands. That is raw fighting.
Yeah, right,
and for those of us that love what this sport really is, that it is me against you.
Yeah.
I hear the crowd when I'm in the cage. Like, I can hear everybody roaring, and once in a while I might be able to hear somebody say something, but typically while I'm fighting, and like when you're in that moment, you're focused on your opponent.
Everything else out.
Yeah.
Man, you're in a cage where somebody's trying to knock your block off. Of course, you got to pay attention to them.
Well, if it comes down to it, maybe we'll be doing fights in basements and fucking factories and abandoned fucking buildings and shit like that.
Mad Max style.
Yeah, I mean.
But you do, but with the fans too, though. The fans make the energy.
Yeah,
On
definitely.
the other end of the spectrum, having the fans there is awesome.
Yeah, I think some fighters probably get energy from that, and maybe some it doesn't bother. I guess it depends on the person.
I love it. I love it both ways. I think the idea of fighting with nobody leaves it raw. And for me, I think that'd be cool as hell. Get in a cage, beat the shit out of each other, and then get out of the cage and go have beer and chicken wings.
Sounds like a good time. So,
right, that's perfect.
So you're also a model. You've been doing the modeling thing for a while. How'd you get into that?
So I've been doing that since I was like 18, 19, I think 19, maybe I was 20 when I did my first shoot, somewhere in that age run. And I just didn't stop, I guess. I don't know. You know what I mean? So right now we're gearing up and building up enough so that we can actually sell some of the photos. Cause I've done some like really artsy black and white stuff. And try to put those up for sale. I know that sounds weird, right?
No, not at all. Not at all. All the content you've been putting up is awesome. Is that all the same photographer, or are you working with different people?
I do work with different photographers. I actually have another shoot that I've been meaning to go through so he can edit the photos for, and he's a pretty amazing photographer. This guy, Rob Duvall, he's just he's just amazing. And then I work with Mike Bertolot, and I have a couple other photographers that I work with that are.
It's still not bad. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, you can sign. I mean, you're big for your fans. Your fans follow you. They love you. Give them something to offer too. Something different.
We have so my all my sponsors and all that stuff. So we do some fight photos too. So those will be out, and then we give those away.
Nice.
Give them away to people.
Do you have any video content of you fighting or training?
There's actually. So I honestly up until now, we're just starting to do some like training videos and stuff like that. I didn't really put anything online, but I'm starting to do that. There is a couple of my sites online. There's a few interviews online, both in video or talking like this. But that's about it. So we're working on it, and my manager is currently setting up a Fire page as we speak.
Nice.
So we'll have that too. This is all like really weird and new, and I'm just like a normal chick.
Well, you're grinding it out. I know you're busy.
I'm just like I'm busy because I keep busy, but I'm literally a normal everyday. I'm kind of a hermit, honestly.
I don't know if I describe you as normal. I mean, you're a fighter, MMA fighter, model. You own
The Gentleman's Club.
Which
We'll get into
we
that.
get into that. Yeah.
Playmates International, actually. What did you say? It was Juice Bar Full Nude?
Yep.
All right.
Did you say juice bar?
Yeah, full.
Yeah,
certain liquor laws and counties, you can't have full nude with booze.
Really?
Yeah.
In New York State, yeah.
Yep.
Did not know that.
Yeah, Vegas part. When I was in Vegas, it's like that. Certain places with gaming, you can't have full nude.
Really?
Or you're going to be grandfathered in. Yeah.
Right.
Actually, Connecticut's like that too, because the guys from Connecticut drive down to Mardi Gras in Springfield because we can have we're full nude also. So that's why people, because then they drive down, they'll bitch. Oh, how come those girls are naked on stage? They drove over here from Connecticut because they want to see the fucking.
Where did they come up with that law? Why? You figure people want to go to the strip club? They're gonna party too.
It's different every state with the liquor laws and.
Actually, I went to a strip club in Albany, and we were definitely drinking.
Wow.
It was weird. There was like a huge, there was like a wall in between the people and the girls on stage.
And it was full nude.
It was like a half a wall. Yeah, it was full nude, but you couldn't actually go to the stage. You had to put the money on the ledge, and the girl would come off the stage, take the money, and go back on stage.
So that's probably like a code that they have to follow in order to have it. Like there was you couldn't actually go out and sit at stage and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was probably like a rule of whatever town or area.
We were in Albany. That was in Albany.
So how did you come about owning a strip club? That's got to be an interesting story.
Okay. So somewhere around my 20s, I started dancing. And I made my way through quite a while of doing it. My business, I went all over the country working.
Yeah.
And I worked for this little hole-in-the-wall, tiny nude place. And, I was one of those girls that slipped through the cracks. You know what I mean? I was living in a really bad situation at home, which wasn't bad all the time, but there were a lot of times where it was really bad, and I was drinking and doing drugs, and it's super accessible. And, you basically become, you're just cash cows in this business. And anybody who gets offended by that as an owner is stupid and foolish because it's not meant as an insult. It's just a fact. You know what I mean? Yeah. You work at a place where it's money in, money out, and that's really what it's about. It's business, right? Yep. So it's just business. And I think that's a huge thing in a lot of the clubs. Like there are some that genuinely care about the girls at work, but there's a lot of other ones that don't. And there's even some that help push along that drug use and prostitution or whatnot, or allow it or make it, I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
Or allow to make it, it's just an unhealthy situation. It's not everywhere. And so, but believe it or not, like there's also a lot of the girls that work in this business, there's like a lot of really terrible stereotypes, that we all either are drug addicts or alcoholics or, prostitutes. And quite frankly, there's a lot of girls that really aren't. There's, I have girls that have put themselves through medical school working at my place.
Right.
Yeah. I know girls that worked with me that went out and bought $350,000 houses and paid off their cars. And, and one of the girls that I used to work with back in the day, she, owned a liquor shop, liquor store. You know what I mean? Owned businesses.
The industry's totally
regular run-of-the-mill people, huh?
The industry's totally different now than it was 20 years ago, too. You know what I mean? Even 10 years ago, it was totally different than it is now.
It is
especially
different,
as far
but you
as the new
still have
girls that
those.
you got, and drugs are around all the time. Especially, I mean, you've seen it yourself. Being an addict to some degree, those places are not the best.
No.
You know what I mean? To stay clean or to get clean.
Well, what I think is it's just easy for women to slip through the cracks. So if
Yeah.
you, I'm not saying, so I'm actually saying the opposite. What I'm saying to you is 90% of the women that roll through that business are just everyday average women that go home to their husbands and their boyfriends and their families, and they're making a living.
Yep.
It's good money, but it is easy for women like me who were living in a bad situation to slip through the cracks. It's very accessible. You have a lot of owners that take advantage of it. I mean, I'm not saying that that's everywhere. I'm just saying that it is easy. And when a friend of mine that was part of my family in that area died from a drug overdose, Playmates fell into my lap, and it was the morning of her funeral that it fell into my lap, and I just thought it was like fun to be.
Yeah.
So I wanted to change. I can't change the world. No one can. Everybody can do it together, but I can certainly change the world around me, and that's where it starts. You know what I mean? One small ripple in the water. So I took it, and I wanted to make it a better, and I have a women-run, women-owned business that creates a safe haven and a clean place for women who want to be in the sex industry to work.
That's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Awesome.
So it sounds
Yeah,
like you're definitely not running your club like the stereotypical gentleman's club or strip club that we're probably accustomed to.
Well,
I mean-
and you like helping all these girls.
Yeah,
at the same
I
time.
mean-
You see, I'm sure you got dancers and stuff that you see in a bad way.
That's
You can
cool,
kinda
actually.
give
I
a little
dig it.
guidance because they've seen what you've came through.
Because I mean, I know Rob definitely has. He's been in. That's all he's. He's worked in strip clubs since he was 16.
Yeah.
And I've worked in. I got into the game through him, and I mean, I've seen a lot of crazy shit.
I think it's a really good idea that women are, especially like I said in this industry, are just really normal, average women that want to make some money, and
Yeah.
those that come along that are recovering, that want to be in a clean place. I provide that as well.
So do you have rules? Do you have rules like if any of the girls get caught doing certain things, they're
So
done or
there's zero tolerance for drugs
Wow.
and alcohol and prostitution in my business.
I haven't seen that. I've never seen that before. That's cool.
I don't, for those girls that are old enough, they want to have like one or two drinks before they come in. That's fine. But I don't, and I don't knock anybody, for whatever they're doing. I just require them to be respectful of themselves. You know what I
Sure.
mean? And not just being required of them. A beautiful, intelligent, amazing women that work for me that are very good at their jobs and are, I have one girl that is making her own music, and I have another girl that, like I said, put herself through nursing school and is now off being a nurse. You know what I mean? We offer a safe spot for those girls as well. And the ones that want to be clean, that don't want to be around all of that stuff, we do that.
The safe place for the girls to go.
Yeah, I think there'd be a lot of girls that would want to come work for you.
It's like every day.
We're gonna go check it out one day.
Yeah, we do because
I've never seen a place like that.
no, me either. And because it's good that you're doing that because like Rob said,
I know a lot of girls. I mean, in Providence, a lot of girls that I know, they don't want to go work in Providence, and other girls don't want to work really where they live either. And Providence is dirty. It just is what it is because prostitution was legal behind closed doors for so
up until
long.
recently.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have your girls that are bad girls. So, you know what I mean?
Sure.
You're going to have that anyway. You're going to weed them out. And it's easier to weed them out because if you're running a clean club, in my experience, when I do clean go through the books and clean everybody out, all the bad girls and stuff, then you get all good girls in there. And 9 times out of 10, those good girls will run out the girls that are bad because they're messing up with their money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they kind of support each other that I've noticed. One other question for you about the
Well, that's it. Go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I was just going to get into the whole COVID thing. That's obviously definitely affected you guys, but I'm not sure how New York runs it. We had to put plexiglass. Closed.
You're completely closed, so you're not. So you have no idea when you can open again.
I mean,
It's probably
basically
the same as Mass because we would be closed. I have the club, but I can't have dancers.
Oh, that's right. That's true.
I'm open as a bar and a restaurant.
That's true.
Because we have a steakhouse that we own attached to us, so we don't have any entertainers. So it's been
So I don't have food or any of that. I mean, we have there's like a pizza place down the road that we work with. and
Yeah,
they work in conjunction with our hours and stuff like that. So they help out till they're closed, and we send them. It's like a mile down the road, but
you don't got like a food license or something. You would be able to be open, I believe, as long as something is cooked in house that you can provide.
You can if you're a restaurant, you know what I mean. But the thing about it is, but there's still like a whole bunch of like rules right now that are in place, and everything
with it myself.
Right, because we did open up. We opened up for a couple weeks, and we spent a decent amount of money during those few weeks to open up and become compliant with, CDC and masks and cleaning, and
we had to put the plexiglass up.
No, we did not put plexiglass up, but there was like 6-foot rule, so we made sure. My place is really small.
Yeah, that's tough.
So it's actually a lot easier for me to keep a handle on things there. We did have a bunch of kitchen stuff there. We ripped it out. So I didn't want to have to deal with food and girls. I just wanted to create like a really cool, eclectic place. And we're actually right now while we're closed, we're actually remodeling the inside. So
nice.
It gives us a chance to do it. But we've been closed we closed on March 15th. And we opened for 2 weeks. I think it was in June, and then we've been closed ever since. And they're talking about not even letting us open until after the first of the year.
How many people do you employ?
Depends. You know what I mean? So
what do you mean employ?
How many employees? Yeah, how many employees does she have? I'm just curious how many people have been out of work since that time.
All of them.
I probably have, give or take, about 20 girls or so, 25 girls that run through my club, during the course of months.
Right.
Because they're in and out, so I can't really say.
It's a revolving door.
Some come and go, and a lot of my girls are independent.
You require them to, so they're independent contractors. Yeah, I got you.
Well, right. So we made our girls do all the independent contracting stuff. So there's like laws that they have to follow, and they have to get DBI down and jazz and carry their own insurance and stuff like that. But for the most part, sometimes we have girls that flicker here and there throughout. So as far as actual staff goes, my bar staff, I probably have about 5 or 6 of those people, and then I have about 25 girls that filter through.
How many bartenders? Because it's a juice bar. You said, is it just straight juice or BYOB?
It's not BYOB. It is straight juice. We have all kinds of non-alcoholic beverages, though, not just juice.
Mocktails and stuff.
Most people. Yeah, we have frozen drinks, and we have cocktail drinks that we've made up that are non-alcoholic, that taste like alcoholic drinks, and we're actually in the process of getting a frozen slushy machine of some sort that we can make non-alcoholic flavored drinks in. So we do things like that.
With it. So I have a question. Yeah. So seeing that you don't serve alcohol there, and you have a pretty strict policy on drugs and things like that, do you find that there's less problems with customers and fights and all that kind of thing?
So a lot of the guys actually pre-game before they come into our place, so they'll come and drunk. But I do. I find that I don't. Number one, I'm a super, super nice person, but I do not take kindly to anybody screwing anything up in my place.
Sure.
Like leaving, going drinking in the car, coming back in.
I can be slightly aggressive.
Are you also the security there?
Yeah, you're the bouncer.
No, I do have security there, but when I am there, we employ security. So we have actually my security is like these big, giant, large, humongous men that are very quiet and are intimidating enough just to stand next to you.
Well, I know how that game is.
No, but they're super quiet. Like we're like, it's like a super chill place. Like it's not.
Yeah, we gotta come check
it's like an everyday strip club, but it's not. It's really, really relaxed. The girls, there's no pressure. The girls are super beautiful and really friendly, and it's just it's Rochester's best kept secret, brother.
Do you still do like champagne rooms and all that?
I do have dance rooms. We have one champagne room.
When you guys are operating normal, are you guys open 7 days a week, like 12 to
We
2?
are open. No, we're open 7 days a week from 7 p.m. till 2 a.m.
Nice.
So no day shifts.
No, I've only had the place for 5 years, and we are still, and I've had a partner for a couple, and we are still, because we're still like making adjustments, so we're still working out. We're thinking about maybe opening like Friday, Saturday for lunch, and then day shift, and then the rest of the week just night. But we're not really sure. We're still learning.
Yeah.
The day shift usually brings in some interesting customers.
Well, I mean, I think it's big both shifts bring an interesting.
No, they do, but I find that the day shift is.
Well, you get a good golfers. That's a big thing, like a big money thing.
I was talking more along the lines of like.
Oh no, I know, like the homeless, like, people wandering in. And
or just like there's some real. I'm saying interesting to be nice, you know what I mean? But there's those day shift regulars that come in that
they're unique.
Yeah, they're very unique. I'll keep it like that.
So, guys, you're listening to
I
New York.
think that those are my favorite people. I really love our customers and the people that come through our door. You know what I mean? Like, everybody is interesting.
Well,
everybody has their own little thing about them that maybe you or I might not find attractive, but I've got the same in me that maybe you might not find attractive,
Yeah, no, but I mean, like there was one dude that came into a place that we used to work at, and he would pay the girls to wear like his grandmother's clothes.
Yeah.
He was a day shift guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've had more, guys that come in and pay for, other things, like a heel in the balls or something.
Yeah, heel in the balls.
Yeah.
Getting walked around on a leash.
Yeah, I mean, that's each their own. But listen, if that's what gets their goat, that's what gets their goat. You know
so you're
what I mean?
cool with all that then? You're cool with that?
As long as it stays within, I'm cool with pretty much okay with that. As long as it stays within, obviously, there's no prostitution.
Right. Sure.
All local laws.
You get a weird fetish.
Heels on the balls is not prostitution, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely not prostitution. It's a matter of fact, I don't think that they certainly don't take them out. They're not allowed to take their balls and their penis. I don't want to see no swinging hanging around my clothes. It's not my thing.
No, I hear you.
Know what I mean?
Not my thing either.
So I'm pretty sure everybody else would agree with you as well.
So you're working on a book? I know you mentioned that to me the other day.
Yes, I'm writing a book.
So tell us about the book.
Like, is it about boxing, or is it your life story, the transition, and what you went through growing up, I
think a little bit about everything. Yeah, a little bit about everything, and just kind of life in general, and
Is the book finished, or are you still in the process of writing?
I'm still writing it. It's going to be at least another year before I'm finished with it, and then I would have to find like a publisher, and who knows? Nobody will nobody will read it. But
no, you got an interesting story.
Sex sells alone.
You got very interesting story. So I think people will definitely want to check it out. So definitely.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say when it's done, when it's ready, let us know. We'll help you promote it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I just think it's. I just want to make a difference. I just want to make a difference. Sometimes it's really hard to see that light at the end of the tunnel when you're crowded out by that dark. You know what I mean?
Yeah, really.
It's really hard to see the end of it. It's hard to see that there's anything better out there past all the fog. It's just so much there. People have a hard time seeing.
You get jaded.
Well, I mean, sure, get jaded, or just feel like it's hopeless and endless. And
once you're stuck in a rut, it's hard to get out of it.
It is, and it's really hard to change a mindset that you decrease that value in yourself too. And the only reason that I know those things is because I was that person. You know what I mean? It's really hard to see when you're going through some really terrible things, and you just don't think it's going to get better. Like there's just no, and I'm living proof that it gets better.
Absolutely.
I'm 41 years old and I am getting in a cage and I want to sign a pro contract.
All the more power to you, though. That's inspiration, though, for other people.
Yeah, you know.
I think you're serving as an inspiration to, women, definitely women, and I think everyone, fighting, and then the way you run your business. I mean, it's pretty inspiring. It sounds like.
I just want it to be better. You know what I mean? I want if I can help one person, get up and push forward. Like I said, plenty of moments in my life I was on my knees and quite frankly didn't think I was going to get back up.
I hear you.
Living proof you did.
Yeah, exactly. And I think when people hear your story, they'll be able to relate, and maybe people will reach out to you, and I think you'll be able to help a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, or maybe just get up and go do something that they might have thought they couldn't do anymore.
Yeah, definitely. Defy the odds.
Define the odds. If more people tried to define the odds, more odds would be defined.
Absolutely.
I'm a poet and I didn't even know it.
Do you want to promote any of your social media, your website, your contacts, or anything like that for the people listening?
Okay. Yep. I got. So my social media. I do have a Facebook. It's Shotzie Doran. And then my Instagram is Shotzie D. You can find me on both of them, and then on both of those will be a link once the fighter page goes up. And I do have a TikTok, although I am so terrible about videos.
I don't know anything about TikTok. TikTok is foreign to me.
It's a
Vagabond Rob, you're on TikTok every day.
Yeah, I was for like a week.
You love TikTok.
My nieces got me on it. Yeah. I thought it was outlawed.
You're gonna go
I thought they
viral.
were going to take it off and nobody was going to be able to use it because it was Chinese made. Yeah.
Oh, it's Chinese made?
I was heard that it was owned by the Chinese.
Trump said something about
It's a Chinese app.
The China virus.
It's all a big giant conspiracy. But I try it. Like there's one training video on there. Like me, we were on a big giant waterfall training.
Cool.
That's what I do on my vacation. I take my coaches with me so I can go hit mitts.
Hell yeah.
Top of my fight.
And don't forget, if you guys are in the New York area, South Byron, Playmates International, that's 7548 Byron Holly Road. That's in South Byron, New York. So if you guys are down there, go check out the girls.
Yeah, and you got any shout outs you want to give?
I do. I have some sponsors if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever you want.
First and foremost, I really needed to give a shout out to my coach, Greg Davis, and Carrie Davis. I would literally be nowhere without them. I would be nothing. If I could tell you the difference from the day I walked into their gym to the person I am now, you'd be like, geez, that's crazy. So I want to give a shout to them and then Coach Brian Brown as well. That's the gym I fight out of. It's Victor MMA. They have a really great kettlebell thing going on over there too. So if you want to get healthy, you could check that out. And that's in Victor, New York. I want to shout out to my manager, Rich Mitchell, of Ground Force Promotions. He's also my fight manager and probably one of the best guys I've ever met in my life. And he would literally do anything for his fighters and his friends. And he's just a really genuinely good person. So I'm blessed and honored to have him. So my sponsors are Proactive Chiropractic in Fairport, New York. Great guy. Call him Dr. Magic Hands. That's a for real deal. And I'm not joking. You can chuckle about it over there. But it's fantastic. He's really fantastic. He fixed me. I had vertigo 2 days before a fight, and I was fixed by the morning of the fight.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, no, that's not even an exaggeration. That's a no joke. Woke up with vertigo. On Thursday, I fought Saturday night.
Nice.
Impressive.
Yeah, I got.
Yeah, 2 days.
Huh?
2
That's
days.
impressive.
super impressive. So that Ground Force Fightwear, they've got really great fightwear. You can check them out on Facebook. And my newest sponsor is Wonderland CBD out of Rochester, New York.
CBDs.
Yeah, really good stuff. They have a really wide variety, and they're super intelligent and knowledgeable in what they're selling. They're super helpful, and they're really overall great people. So,
Did you find out the CBDs help you in recovery at all?
Yeah, actually, they do. They absolutely do. Like some lotions and stuff like that.
I used the salve
healing
before.
recovery stuff. Yeah, I love. I like the healing stuff that they use. Not so much with the other stuff, but I definitely like the lotions and the salves and stuff.
Yeah,
I feel like those help.
I rolled my ankle bouncing one day, and it was black and blue, and it turns like yellow, the bruising. And I wrapped it in CBD salve overnight, and woke up in the morning. There was no swelling. There was virtually no sign of any bruising at all. I don't know what the hell it did, but it worked.
The stuff's like magic. So if you want to definitely, absolutely. So if you definitely want to, talk to some real professionals that know what they're doing and know what they're talking about, have great products, head over to Mad Hatter Hideaway, talk to them about their Wonderland CBD line. And then the other two are Viking MMA. I worked out there with some coaches, and that is in Auburn, New York, and Integrity MMA, which is Jeff Duns, who is, he's like the guy.
Who's that? What was his name again?
Jeff Duns.
Oh yeah. I actually know him and my boy Razor Ray. Shout out to them out in Buffalo. Yeah, I know those guys. I went on their podcast. They have a podcast called Cavemen's Corner. Shout out to them. Yeah, Jeff Duns. He was a really good fighter.
He's a great fighter, and he's an even better human being.
I bet.
He's genuinely a super good dude. I've had the opportunity to work with him a couple of times. His ground game, dude, is so slick.
Yeah, he's nasty. Yeah, jiu-jitsu practitioner. Do you know Ray too?
Ray, maybe. But
he fought. Ray. He goes by Razor Ray. He's a good guy. They do the podcast together, and then I think he was training at the same gym.
I've done a couple interviews with Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's on the online too. So, but I've done a couple interviews with him, and then he was the commentator for my fight for ground.
Oh, very cool.
And I got to know Jeff, and like I said, I've worked with him a couple times, and he's just a great guy. So, those are my sponsors. Check them out.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I'm so terrible at this. Like, I'm really bad at this.
No, it's all good, man. Shout out to them, and make sure you check their podcast, Caveman's Corner.
Yeah, shout out to Caveman's Corner, man. And Shotzie, anything
those guys
else?
are cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything else you want to tell the people listening, your fans?
Nothing, you know what I mean? Just don't ever give up. If you want something,
words to live
work for it. Yep, get it up. Get up and do it again. We're not defined by how many times we fall or mistakes we made. We're defined by what we do afterwards. So, get up, go reach for it. It's not going to be easy, but it'll definitely be worth it.
For sure. Well,
Good
it was great.
message.
It was great having you on. Everyone out there, make sure you stay tuned for your upcoming fights and everything else that you're doing.
Following all of our social media, Shotzie Doran.
The Predator.
Shotzie, we appreciate you giving us your time and coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been an honor. I really appreciate it.
And thank you to our friend Vagabond Rob for the connection.
Absolutely, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Hey, her Facebook, her Instagram has inspired me when I've been on the road. She actually, when I had a loss on the road, she reached out. She's genuinely this nice. So
I believe it.
Make sure you check out all of her social media because you will be inspired.
Oh, thanks, brother. I really appreciate that.
Of course.
And I love all your stuff, too. You definitely have some pretty cool stuff going on over there. It makes my day.
Yeah, these guys are trying to talk me into doing a podcast, so we'll see. They're tired of me taking over.
I don't know about all that. I don't know about that.
That sounds very exciting.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for coming on, Shotzie. Make sure you people follow Shotzie Doran, all social media. Chrissy, anything else?
No, I think that's it. Thank you for coming on, and talk soon.
Yes, definitely. Keep in touch, guys, and thank you so much for having me.
Thank
all
you.
right, thank you.
That's right, boys.
Right.
Street Corner, Soapbox.com. We're fucking out of here. That's right, Street Corner Soapbox. This episode is powered by Pod Decks.
Pod decks are unique interview questions and episode starting prompts in the palm of your hand. So whether you are a new podcaster or existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience or get more engagement, you're going to want to check out poddecks.com. Use code SCSB for 10% off your first order.
That's right. Pod Decks are the hottest new tool for podcasters looking to have more meaningful conversations or gamify their podcast. Simply shuffle up, ask a question, and let the content roll. Get yours today at poddecks.com. That's PODDECKS.com. And use code SCSB for 10% off your first order.
And make sure you check out StreetCornerSoapbox.com for more updates.
That's right, boys and girls. Street Corner Soapbox. Now, we all know during this crazy time with the pandemic, businesses are struggling. So we're here to support local businesses, and we need your help to do so also.
That's right. So subscribe to our Patreon, become a member to help support the show, and receive exclusive episodes and bonus content, as well as discounts on merch. That's patreon.com/streetcorner_soapbox2020.
Follow us on our website, streetcornersoapbox.com.